Hey guys, Shadney here with another process video. This one I have a fun free printable for y'all. It's just a little inspiration sheet. It's got a color scheme, some like mood board kind of pictures, some like feeling pictures, a little sketch. Sorry, lost the words. A little sketch and a little like cut apart like a digital cut file for people who don't have a Cricut, basically. So it's a little camera, and you can use it just as is and like color it in or print it on paper and cut it out or something like that. Or you can I broke each piece down so that you can cut each individual piece out of different pattern papers and layer it together. So today I'm going to show you how to do that. And I don't do it with every single tiny piece on here, but you get the idea. So right now I'm just going through. I picked a picture of my daughter and to fit inside that camera hole, lens. Sorry, not hole. That camera lens. And then I'm just going through and trying to pick paper. I didn't pre-plan this. I picked all the color schemes and everything ahead of time when I made the little inspiration sheet. So I didn't pre-match it to any paper or any pictures or anything. So right now I'm just trying to go through and decide what papers I liked compared to what the colors I already picked. And then it turns out like all the colors that I added to the inspiration sheet are like the exact colors of the crepe paper hooray collection. So that worked out great, and that's what I ended up using for this layout. So now I loosely cut out one of the pieces from the camera and then laid it on that paper and trimmed around the edges just to cut that shape out. And then now I'm trying to hold it over different papers to try to figure out what color I want my camera to, like the background of the camera to be. So I think I end up going with this red. And this layout, color-wise, in the end, wasn't exactly what I would have picked normally if I wasn't trying to match these colors. So I might do it differently next time and make a layout and then go back and add my colors later. I don't know. It was kind of weird. So I think I just got too wrapped up in it. But it turns out cute. I love how it turns out, so I'm not complaining. So maybe I just need to do it again because then it's something I don't normally do. Sorry, I'm rambling. So I did this again. I pulled out the camera shape. I just cut the bottom off, and I did that with the last one too, just so I could line it up against the bottom edge so that the pattern ran like lined up correctly. And then I just used an X-Acto knife and what's it called? A ruler, and just trimmed around the edges. And then I'm repeating that for the little grip part on the left side. Added this nice blue. The blue I would have used the blue in the 6x8, but the blue in the 6x8 is like holographic. Whereas the 12x12 is just like a nice like aqua kind of color. So I wanted that instead. And then I'm going to do the lens as well. And I don't know I think I did this after I started cutting, but I added just a tiny dot of adhesive to the very middle just to stick the papers together. That made it a little easier to cut. And then I cut the outside ring and then the inside ring. So now I'm just trying to line up my picture to figure out exactly where I want it. And then I'm adding adhesive. I was just going to add the adhesive and then add it to the picture, but then I decided to do a little shaker pocket so that it was full of little pieces, and then when they settled to the bottom, it would look like the donut that's in the picture that she has. So I added the transparency, adhered it to the back just with a tape runner of that little ring. And then I take the cutoff that was the inside of the ring and add that on top of that. It's like the little front facing piece, and then trim just inside the ring, and then all the way through so that I can lay the picture behind it. Sorry, that was a really odd way of saying it. I just couldn't get it out right. Um, so then my photo's behind that. And so after, when you add the lens, it's not just my photo sticking out around the edge. Like, it looks cleaner. So there we go. And then I added just a little bit of gray ink around the edges so that the papers stand out on top of each other. They don't like blend into the background. It just adds a nice little edge of distinction so that you see each paper without it blending together. And then I'm going to start adhering my pieces down. I adhere that little grip part, and then I adhere that little front overlay part. But I don't add the lens yet. So now I'm adding, oh no, I didn't add the overlay part yet. I probably should have, but I didn't think that far in advance, apparently. So I added some little teeny tiny seed beads in there, and then did foam all the way around the edges just to contain it, like continuously. And I missed that on the video. I didn't voice over that part, sorry. And then stuck it on top. Stuck the lens with the clear on top with the foam tape. So that just kept all those beads in there. And then I'm adhering that whole piece to the camera. There we go, and it's a nice little shaker. And then I'm going to go back, and the rainbow paper right there that I used for the overlay on the front of the camera, I'm going to use that yellow so that they coordinate, right? Just use that little bit of yellow left over from that paper to make the little flash square. And then adhere that on there. Oh, add the ink. There we go. And then I'm just putting all that away, cleaning up, getting back to the layout. So instead of a very specific blocked background, like a top section and a bottom section, like in my what's it called? The sketch. Sorry, I keep forgetting that word. I was trying really hard to do the sketch, but then I couldn't find anything that was right, especially with how bright that camera turned out. So I took a more, I don't know, not a direct influence from inspiration, sorry. Not a direct, like a more off inspiration of the background than I did an actual background. I tried this camera paper, which was actually all the perfect colors. It's an old, I think Maggie Holmes, maybe just crepe paper. But it was just too much. It was overwhelming. I didn't like it. So then I even cut it down to see. It's just too much. Just stop. And then I decide, don't worry, just do the inspiration rather than the actual direct copy, and just do what it's just going to look so much better. So I eventually turn this paper back over to where it's divided diagonally rather than the horizontal line. And then I go off of that. So the page is still divided like in the sketch, but apparently I try really hard for a long time. There we go. So this is the one I end up with. And then I just left the yellow on top and then the pink on bottom, so that because the yellow felt like heavier, so I thought the pink would be better to do to add my title and journaling down there. And then I added some washi tape as my little dividing line and just pull some more of that color in there. There we go. And for now, I'll just fold the edges under, but I go back and trim it later, I promise. I don't leave it all janky like that. And then I'm just trying to decide the actual placement of the camera, and I put it kind of off to the right a little bit where more of it's on the pink. There we go. And then though that chipboard word is also from the Hooray collection, from the chipboard sheet. And then I pull out these fun, bright colored stickers. And then I'm going to do sprinkles. And so it'll say, "Sprinkles make me happy." And then some little tile letter stickers to do the make me. I like to add my titles to sorry, my brain is not with it today. I like to add my titles to wax paper ahead of time so that I can kind of trim it down and move it around and get it centered correctly before I actually add each individual sticker, because pulling it up 4 times is just a huge waste of time and it makes me tired, so I don't like to do that. So there we go. I'm just getting it all lined up and then pulling these out. And I think these I add on, not on the wax paper. I think I just add them straight on and then line up around them with the others. Oh no, I added wax paper. Never mind. Sorry. The cool thing with wax paper, especially with those little tile stickers, if you had them lined up straight on your wax paper, you could fold the top edge of your wax paper, or the bottom, either one. But you can fold the edge of your wax paper down, like halfway down, and stick the top half of your letter stickers to the page, and then hold them down and pull the rest out. So you don't have to necessarily go back and add them individually on there, but I didn't have them lined up right, so it's fine. And then I pulled out these little enamel dots from Chamel's box of crayons, and I just added the big dots to look like the buttons instead of actually cutting out buttons. I also missed the part where I cut out the little picture, the view window with an X-Acto knife. Sorry. I am not with it today. I should not be doing voiceovers at 5:30 in the morning, but that's when it's quiet in the house, so it works. So I'm just going back. I pulled out a bunch of little tiny bits and pieces, like the scattery parts, and I'm just sticking some little stars. I think I add some hearts in there too, but add a bunch of little stars, clusters. Those pink metallic looking ones are metal. They're really cute, and they have a little foam adhesive behind them. I don't know what the brand is. They're from like a little clearance shop here in Oklahoma, and I got a bunch of colors. They had heart, stars, and then little tiny dots, and I got a bunch of those. So, and then I pulled out some little wood veneers. And there's some little puffy stars, and there's those chipboard stars, and then I pull out some, what are those called? Rhinestones, some like flatback gems. These are fun. They're from Hobby Lobby actually in the jewelry section, but they're just a big box in a variety of colors, 3 different sizes. I think they were $14.99, so 40% coupon. $7.50. Well, I work for Hobby Lobby, so I get a discount. So for me, they were like $7.50. But still, even with just the 40% off, what would that be? It would be $6 plus $3, so $9. Still not bad. And there's a bunch in there, so they'll last forever. There we go. And I'm just gonna keep adding and adding and adding more and more things. And the colors in those gems were kind of perfect too, so that was great. And then I'm going back. This is the Nuvo liquid adhesive. It's amazing. I love it. And then I didn't show you. It was boring to gluing all the little bits and pieces down. And then these are from Chamel's Head in the Clouds. I used a lot of her pieces in this, like the little bits. But they're like the little flash kind of star shape, so I thought they were perfect to put over the flash. So that was kind of funny. I don't know. It made me happy. And then I'm finally going back and trimming the washi tape edges off. So for any of those OCD people, I'm usually one of them. I finally did it. Yes. So the page is all done. I go back later and type up journaling and add journaling strips off camera. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, it was a little bit of a cluster today, but if you like this video, please hit like. If you have any questions whatsoever or want to say anything or ask whatever, I am more than happy to answer anything. And so leave a comment below if you have any questions, and hit subscribe if you want to see more videos. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day. Happy scrapping.